Hi everyone. I've been having a good run on the channel recently. Had some videos that have done very, very successful and really overperformed expectations, garnered a lot of new subscribers. And I'm about to ruin all of that right now by doing a Superman video, because my Superman videos tend not to be the most popular on planet Earth, or at the very least, I just get the Superman fans riled up with what I have to say. But the reason why I'm circling back around to doing this video is I feel I was very, very vindicated on one of my points that was very controversial last month. And in fact, I was amazed at how much came out just to vindicate me on this certain point. I said in this video that the Superman fans lambasted me for that, asking the question, is James Gunn's Superman gonna be a man-child? Is he gonna be a man-child on the level of the characters that James Gunn likes to portray, like Chris Pratt's Star-Lord? Or another comparison, even though this is not a James Gunn character, is I said he was giving Zachary Levi Shazam vibes. And boy, was I raked across the coals for saying that. And I thought, you can get to me, and I thought, maybe I was reaching too much. Maybe I didn't make a good argument. I didn't feel great about that video and my arguments when I had made it, but I just got a sense that something was off about this Superman character. But then it turns out that I was right, because in every single clip that we get from David Corenswet's Superman, he's like this.
That's gonna be... Would you like a coffee?
Where's the dog? The dog, loser! You took the dog! Where's the dog?
Now, this clip, especially the one about the dog, went viral, and everyone had an opinion, and there were people who also thought, and I thought this as soon as I saw the clip, is like, why is it that whenever I see David Corenswet's Superman, he's throwing a temper tantrum like a little kid? And that got a lot of people upset with me. I got bots, and I know that there are bots because they had 0 followers posting panels to me of comics of Superman getting really upset. And this is the problem with a lot of the discourse, is that people keep misinterpreting what the problems people have with these Superman clips are. It always goes back to, and it went back to this one, oh, so you don't want Clark Kent to be emotional? Oh, heaven forbid a guy have a personality and actual feelings. I never said that. In fact, no one ever said that. This is akin to the argument of you saying, I hate pancakes, and them going, so you hate waffles. No one in this discussion has ever said that they don't want Superman to show emotion, that they don't want him to have a personality, anything like that. And talking about the clip about the dog, it is perfectly reasonable to get really upset and have it be your breaking point if you think somebody has attacked your pet. That's like one of the unpardonable sins, somebody perhaps attacking your dog. Of course, we have seen Superman burst in on Lex Luthor before. We've seen him get really upset before. But please hear me out to what my problem is. It's not that Superman is getting upset. It's the way he is getting upset. It is the mannerisms. It is the way his voice squeaks in these various clips that come out.
What is this?
It's the performance. There is a way, and I'll put it to you this way, there is a way that a man, a grown adult, would get really upset and angry. And then there is a way that a child would get really upset and angry. There is a way that a man would get very angry over the fact that his dog has potentially been kidnapped. And then there is a way that a child would get upset. In this clip, and I don't know what it is with that little cut there, like he bursts in, a guy's about to fall over, and then it cuts. In this clip, the mannerisms and the way that Superman just gets in there and throws things, and the expressions that he's making, and the way that his voice sounds, it comes off like a child getting angry, a child throwing tantrums.
The dog, loser! You took the dog!
And I don't understand why these are the clips that they want to show us, because everything that we see of Superman is in different contexts. Obviously, the dog one is like, yeah, somebody took his dog. But in other contexts, it just seems like this Superman is easily played. He's easily rattled. Going back to that scene with Lois, where it seems that he is very, very easily rattled and upset.
That part was an aside. That was off the record.
You have to say off the record beforehand, not after.
Why are you being like this?
And on edge about what she's saying, and made to kind of look like an idiot because here he is, a reporter, and Lois has to correct him on when he says off the record. So he trips up a whole lot, and so he's a very goofy Superman, a very immature Superman, a very childish Superman. Even in this recent clip that we got today, where he's talking to the robots, and the way he talks to them, and his voice squeaks, like his voice cracks a lot.
What is this? Ow, stop. Ow, stop it. Crypto, ow, stop it, stop, sit.
It's a very, very childish Superman. And going back to that scene we saw in the trailer of him being, oh, I'm not messing around, I'm doing important stuff. He sounds like a little kid. And that's why I said he sounded a little bit like the mannerisms that Zachary Levi had as Shazam. He comes off as a kid who's out of his depth here, and he gets confused easily, and he messes up in his speech and how he talks easily. He doesn't seem like the brightest Superman so far. I haven't seen any evidence of his intelligence yet. And he gets emotional very, very easily. I know that it upsets people when you say that, but there's a difference between saying that Superman can never get emotional and that he has no personality, which he always has, versus him acting like a little kid in a lot of this stuff. And I was listening to my sister the other day, who's a bigger Superman fan, and she was saying that when Superman gets really upset, like the reason why it's supposed to be a huge deal is because Superman wouldn't do that. Like when Superman gets really, really upset and just completely loses it, that's supposed to be a huge deal because you don't see him like that. But for this Superman, we choose to see him in these dorky is the word. This is a dorky Superman, and not Clark Kent. Clark Kent is the dorky persona. Superman himself is dorky in this. So all we see of him is dorky and getting super emotional, and he's a very beta Superman. Like, Superman is an alpha, but this is a very beta performance for the character. And I've seen so many clips of it so far. That clip with the dog and Lex Luthor was portrayed kind of like the 10-year-old bully who took Superman's lunchbox and is pretending that he didn't do it. Like, Lex Luthor himself comes off as very boyish and childish in this. And I guess that's what they're going for. And I guess I can confidently say, we'll see what the reviews say for this movie, but I think it's true what they've been saying, that if you like what you've been seeing in the marketing, then you'll like the movie. You're probably not going to like the movie if you don't like what you've been seeing. Like, my only thought about how it could possibly win me over is Gunn does tend to come through when it comes to pulling the heartstrings, so let's see. But I don't think that I'm going to like this Superman. I just absolutely despise what we've seen of him before. It's like, this is not my Superman at all. Now, let's get into the why I think that Superman is portrayed like this. Now, some people think that it is possibly an overcorrection of Zack Snyder's Superman, who got accused of being unfeeling and stoic. Also, the discussions about how Superman is inhuman and has a hard time relating to people. Conversations, which, by the way, I think got way, way, way overblown because of the Zack Snyder movies, so that this is an overcorrection, where he's much more childish, where they're really, really playing up his emotional side and a dorkier, goofier side to make him seem as human as possible. And that seems to be what James Gunn has been doing. But, like I said, I think that it is an overcorrection. Superman has admirable qualities. He does have a maturity to him. He does have a wisdom to him. He is very smart. I am not seeing any of those qualities on screen, and he is an alpha character. He's commanding. He's a guy who you could trust, who you could follow. And once again, when he really loses it, then that's supposed to be a big deal. This character, no matter what the context of the clips we see is just always just rattled, just so easily upset by people. Like he's constantly on edge, and somebody else always has got him by the scruff, whether it's Lois or Lex or whoever. And it's just too far in the other direction to me. He just comes off way too childish. So yeah, it could potentially be an overcorrection, but I also just think that this is a reflection of the tastes of James Gunn. I'll say it once, and I will say it again. James Gunn said he originally didn't want to do Superman because he didn't care for it. He had no interest in it. No, people will misinterpret my words. I never said that James Gunn said that he didn't like the character. He said he just had no interest in that type of character. And the narrative has been revised since then to say that he just couldn't crack Superman. He said he wasn't interested in the character. I think that it's the type of thing that we have seen in media before, where people have to work on these franchises and IPs that they maybe don't want to, so they have to change them in order to suit their tastes. I think that Superman is made very much after James Gunn's personality in real life. The dog, 100% confirmed, is a self-insert of James Gunn's dog, and he's talked about how mannerisms between Superman and the dog are based off of him and the dog in real life. And, Superman dealing with social media is going to be a thing in here, and that's definitely James Gunn. I think that he molded Superman to be more like what he would want in a character, a much more childish character. And I think that Lex Luthor is reflecting that as well. And that's why I think that the movie is not going to work for me. And with all of this, I don't think that the fault of it is James Gunn. I think it's David Zaslav, the guy who wanted to hire James Gunn, the guy who was originally going to have Todd Phillips be the leader and CEO of DC Studios. Is that James Gunn just was not the right choice for this character. And once again, maybe there'll be something in the movie that I will enjoy, because there's been times in the past where I've been skeptical about a James Gunn thing and it pulled through in the end. And WB is definitely nervous about this, and you're going to see so many positive reviews for this movie because they have specially curated influencers to watch this film and to give positive feedback for it. And you were going to see that the floodgates open on that next Tuesday, sorry. But it's like, I don't know, you guys. Like, I don't know how many people, even if it gets good reviews, are going to be interested in this. And I think Superman fans, which is the same thing that they did with the Zack Snyder movies, need to be less dismissive and a bit more understanding of why this isn't gelling with certain people and why it isn't working out. It's like too far in the other direction. And I don't think that Superman is a hard character to get right. I think we had it there with Christopher Reeves in terms of personality and the Lois and Clark show and the animated Superman. I think he just had some bad luck with Superman Returns and the Zack Snyder films. And I just don't think that this overcorrection, if that's what it is necessary. But that's what I got for you guys. So I know that my Superman videos make people upset. If you are a big fan of the Superman movie and you're looking forward to it, good for you. I appreciate you hearing me out this long. Thank you all for watching again. Thank you, patrons and members, for supporting me. As always, if you would like to become a patron or a member, you can check out the link in the description. And I will see you guys next time.